Ashton Knowlton, great player out of Cherry Creek, Colorado, headed to High Point, originally committed to Air Force. Awesome attackman, big boy who can score.
Tucker Dordovic from Edison High School in Syracuse. Syracuse-bound midfielder, attackman, also an Under Armour All-American this year.
Britt Evans, another player ranked in the recruiting rundown top 100. He's an Under Armour All-American out of St. Ignatius in California, Northern California. Great player, and will go to Harvard and join his brother.
Still hot, announcers. If you guys are talking about some of these players, we need to keep talking through this.
Kristen Marshall, another great player out of the Nevada area, headed to Air Force, been committed for a long time, excellent athlete, really strong shooter. Expect Jackson Zog and Chris Belcher to hold that defense as well as Joe Carrington, number 25 out of San Ramon Valley in California. Two great goalies as well.
And now for the South team, Teddy Sullivan, one of the better players, attack midfielder, lefty slasher, Arizona product that played at the Deerfield Academy School the last 2 years. Another guy to watch tonight, Ryder Mora, son of UCLA head football coach Jim Mora, two-way midfielder headed to Maryland next year.
And then Mo Meyer is the son of Rick Meyer, who played quarterback in Notre Dame in the NFL. Excellent quarterback, and Mo Meyer is a stud head of Notre Dame as well. Cathedral Catholic in San Diego. Really strong athlete, big boy, can shoot it. Andrew Beecham, Jonathan Partamian, two other shooters, as well as Harry Welford, the 43-ranked player in the senior class out of MICDS in St. Louis. He'll go to UVA after playing the Under Armour All-American game. And, of course, Zakai Montgomery, an excellent athlete who will likely play football at Duke as well. He's from Episcopal School of Dallas. And then Owen Siebold, who Nakai plays with often, 37th-ranked player in the country. From Highland Park in Texas, he'll go to Syracuse. Also an Under Armour All-American honoree.
And the last guy to highlight on the South team, for starters, will be Luke Milliken in goal from Dallas Jesuit, headed to North Carolina in the fall.
Once this is 15 seconds, you guys can start wrapping this up. We're going to throw it to a commercial break. So start telling everybody coming up next. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go to 5, give me the logo.
Make sure to come back in 10 minutes. We'll have the Adrenaline All-American game set to go.
All right, we ready? And owl or logo, get ready to track and go with commercials.
On the mic.
Number 28, Spencer Carlson, Brandon Bay.
You guys want me hopping on here?
Number 29,
Okay, national anthem, guys, will be coming up here in about a minute 30.
Set to start the Adrenaline All-American game. Pretty incredible opportunity for these kids from west of the Mississippi to showcase their skills in front of a nice little audience here, an incredible venue on the East Coast Eyes YouTube channel. Pretty fired up for this game. Really strong talent here. 10 players ranked in my recruiting rundown, top 100, several of which will play in the Under Armour All-American game in a few weeks and head off to college in a few weeks.
Yep, we've got guys from 13 different states and Canada, Ty. So exciting, diverse group, excellent new venue. Fired up for this.
And you've coached all of these kids. What's that been like?
It's cool. It's cool to see these guys go up through the ranks and play in the system. And a lot of these guys started out in our youth leagues and in our recruiting events. And now to see them here playing against each other. A lot of these guys are friends and future college teammates and rivals. So tonight, all the friendships go out the window and on the field. And then hopefully after the game, a lot of guys are just having fun and enjoying their last sort of game together in the system.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of talent here. It feels like one of the better classes to ever come out of the West, based on what I've watched over the years.
Yep, you've got the Colorado State Player of the Year, Asher Milting. You've got the California State Player of the Year, Brent Evans. You've got the Arizona State Player of the Year, Will Cunnington. You've got the Nevada State Player of the Year, Christian Marshall. And so, a lot of individual talent. I think the key is we'll see which team sort of gels together the best tonight.
And that's always the tough part in the All-Star games. I'm sure, it's no fun to be a goalie, but we have 4 awesome goalies here, pretty fired up for that aspect. But I can see a high-scoring game like any All-Star game, especially this level of talent. It's just ridiculous.
First face-off, we've got Chase Lynch against Luke Gianni. Scott Phillips with the ground ball for the South.
Phillips a great player ahead of Bryant.
Turnover there. Lucas Pedersen with the interception. Over to Miles Ham. Nolting and Ham. Looks like a pretty good 1-2 combo tonight.
Both definitely some of the most established players in this game. Sort of all-star game, you kind of see these 1-2 punches. Kind of curious to see who breaks out here and works well together.
Asher Knowlton wasting no time, the Colorado State Player of the Year, captain of Cherry Creek High School, the Colorado State champions. One of the more late bloomers in the class. Asher's become pretty dominant and difficult to stop in a one-on-one matchup.
You can see just how he uses his big frame, around the goal. He's so good at that. I mean, to be honest, he's one of the players who we would have loved to fit into the Under Armour American game. He's a phenomenal player, headed to play for John Torpy at High Point. Originally committed to Air Force, switched that commitment over the last year or so, and he'll get a lot of PT over the next couple of years.
JT Simonton from Cherry Creek with the face-off. Another guy who had a really strong season, one of the keys to Cherry Creek's success, an undefeated season. JT was a monster this year, headed to Bellarmine in the fall.
Have to thank Brian Perry from Cherry Creek's watching this game. Proud of his Bruins. There's Nick Clark there, number 7 for the blue team. Nice looking contingent from St. Ignatius Brett as Miles Ham finishes. Excellent feed. South defender got caught ball watching there pretty good. Let's take a look at the replay here. Got to have your head on the swivel. Great little look there from Knowlton. Talk about that 1-2 punch. I think they're pretty comfortable together already.
Yeah, Miles Ham's got some great hands inside. Catches anything. Johnny with the face-off win for the North.
Johnny, another player really enjoyed watching in some Vegas events. At MIT, I'd say he's a pretty smart kid. Just as strong in the lacrosse field. Special player.
Quentin Birch with the ball here from Regis Jesuit.
Yeah, no one would know. Oh, I can't see anything now.
Ooh, great take right there. Jack Elders from Redwood headed to Georgetown in the fall.
Foul
Unassisted goal by number 21, Jack Elder.
Probably one of the sleepers for Georgetown, or from California in general. Just a really strong player, nice little stick control there to get in front of the cage for a high percentage shot.
Public school in the
South needs to sort of get some rhythm going here and need a possession badly.
And there you have it, right there. Chase Lynch from Santa Margarita Catholic and Denison. Definitely a steal. I was talking to Greg Grandeline after, before the game, and had great things to say about Chase. Probably not the offensive possession they would have hoped.
West Coast is Mo.
Lucas Patterson with the pickup. Settled up by Bryn Evans for the North.
Awesome year by Bryn. Really strong year for the Wildcats. Knocked off some East Coast opponents. Garden City, Chaminade, almost knocked off #1 Landon. Lots of talent there.
Yeah, Bryn had a really great season. Great kid, great leader. He's sort of college ready if there ever was a kid that's ready to take the leap.
Again, another Under Armour All-American. I think that senior season really solidified his spot there. Very talented athlete.
Here comes Nolting again on the ride.
You always see some creativity in these games as well. Seems like Nolting likes the spotlight here. South defense definitely needs to step up here, make some stops.
31 is Gianni Orlando from Bauer High School, plays for John Grant Jr., Colorado.
Can always be some turnovers. A lot of these guys have played together, but it's been quite some time.
A lot of pregame jitters usually in the first quarter of these kind of games.
I think I'd be having some jitters as well in a venue like this. Probably smart to settle things down here and take a smart possession. Obviously a lot of talent here, guys like Mo Meyer and Harry Welford and Nakai Montgomery in this roster.
Take by Partamian, he's saved.
Nice ride there by the South team.
Here comes Ham.
John, you've coached Miles Ham a lot. I know he's a pretty special skill set in him. What's it been like to coach him?
Miles Ham is a guy that just loves lacrosse, loves to get better. He's a lacrosse junkie. Wonderful kid, going to Harvard in the fall. He's taken the last 2 years at Westminster School in Connecticut, really evolved his field game. And guy that plays box all summer long, so his skill sets are great, both field and box now.
By number 16, J.P. Morris.
There's Asher Nolting again, off an assist from J.P. Morris, the first player in the state of Oklahoma to be Division I lacrosse player. Probably the first time we've ever seen Oklahoma on the roster for any one of these kind of games.
We've talked a lot about Nolting, but 3 points already. Loves the spotlight, as I mentioned.
Simonton again for the North. Ooh. Check out this behind the back shot by Ham.
And that's the kind of creativity you've seen from him, over the years. The Alberta native, I guess.
Yep, played for Jesse Fair. Great guy, great mentor for Miles, former Harvard coach.
Of course, this year playing for Ryan Curtis, a big Westminster School in Connecticut, former Vermont head coach who stepped down at his first year with Westie this year.
Here comes the South. Scott Phillips with the ball. South needs to just get one goal to kind of get everyone on the same page and take the anxiety off of the offense here.
You have Owen Seabold back at X. I know he's played in this venue before against Westlake back in March when Georgetown Notre Dame played. Another Under Armour All-American guy. Bound for Syracuse.
There's Beecham, great redodge. Great lefty shot. Andrew Beecham is one of the most efficient players in California. Player of the Year in San Diego, led the Costa Canyon to a championship this year. Great kid, really hard-working kid. Here you see him down the lefty alley, overhand shot. Simple, fundamental lacrosse.
I think with what Towson loses, to graduation after making the Final Four this year, they really expect him to have a strong role. I'm talking to their coaches this past weekend on the recruiting trail. They love his ability to get his hands free and rip it. One of the better shooters I've seen in San Diego over the past, several years. I'm sure Jono's very excited he's graduated. Now, no longer has to play him against Lacrosse Canyon.
Yep.
Torrey Pines are arch rivals.
Session in the north with Ham.
We have Nick Moeller, another player, switched his commitment from St. John's to Boston University out of Loyola, Los Angeles. Staying out the past couple of years, the West Coast Stars and Under Armour West team.
Yeah.
Great player.
Nick's a great player, a really good athlete, really late bloomer, but a nice pickup for Ryan Poley and the Terriers.
BU doing a great job recruiting that Western talent. Seabold again, he's covered by Ryan Baker. Who will go off to Bryant. Another school that's getting a lot of Western talent. Mike Press doing a great job locking down Western talent.
Yeah, Bryant's a school that's really invested in the non-traditional areas, and I think they were out ahead of most schools at the forefront of that, and it seemed to pay dividends. A lot of our kids have gone there and had great experiences and gotten playing time, and it's a great spot for a lot of kids.
And there's no surprise. I mean, I seem to see Bryant and BU at a lot of these adrenaline events over the past couple of years, and really locking those kids down.
Here's Evans. Deflected by Phillips. Stay north ball.
To the South squad. Nate McPeak, another late bloomer. Just an awesome player. He'll go to Syracuse. Big kid, fills up the cage. Really enjoyed watching him in general events over the last couple of years. Great story.
Yep, Nate, along with a couple other guys, are sort of the founding fathers of this Nations United Club program too, really trying to spread the diversity of the sport and be ambassadors, which is great to see. Nate's a wonderful kid, and Nations United is picking up a lot of steam.
Nice little article on them and this past issue of Inside Lacrosse.
Ham here, covered by Grenwald. And he's getting a little bit sloppy here in the first quarter tie.
I think you'll see, there's a little bit the cohesion be gained as the game goes on, as these guys kind of get more familiar with one another.
Jake Frayne right there from Mountain Vista in Colorado.
Nice ball movement there. Jake Frayne, other player who's got a lot of love. Number 69 ranked player in the recruiting rundown top 100. Originally from Oregon and played a lot in the 3D program. Really impressive player. Big boy. Notre Dame has a strong stable of middies coming in. He's among them. He's played some box for the last couple of years and great little finishing inside. Not going to miss those shots too often.
Ham again. South just badly needs possession.
Oh, BTB fake there. Seen a lot of those over the years. I feel like he's good for a highlight reel goal every time he plays, or highlight reel in general. Such a crafty player. You can see the box influence in his game as well.
Great save by McPeak right there.
Get his confidence going.
Here comes Scott Phillips for the South. Oh, Seabold, pipe. Unlucky. North chases it out, North ball.
He's not catching any breaks here so far. Final minute of the first quarter.
Another look at that shot by Seabold.
Goalie's best friend. See if the North squad can make it 6-1. About 40 seconds left in the first. Matt Cameron there, another Canadian. He's at Trinity Pauling School and will go to Vermont. He's prepping out in New York.
Great pickup for Chris Fipes. I think that's a great fit for that program. Oh, wow. The big fellow from Oklahoma, J.P. Morris.
It's going to be such a mismatch. Matchup problem the next couple of years. From Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Nice power in that shot.
Deceptively athletic, Ty, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get in his way.
No, he'd bowl me over. Like anyone would, but that kid especially.
Yes, I do. I think anyone would.
Thank you, Jono.
And that wraps up the first quarter here.
And roll commercial audio out.
Then for how long is he where was say about the guys in the game? Just
Announcers. Announcers, we're in. Go ahead.
here we go, starting the second quarter here. North up 6-1.
South needs some energy and a little bit of a break or something just to get some momentum going. Still seem a little bit timid. Balls flying all over the place. Guys seem disorganized and nervous.
Tough go there in the clear. Just a little bit too high. Couldn't get a handle there. And that's the tough part, I think, with the whole clearing aspect. It's always hard to get that going when you haven't played with these guys.
Yeah, again, I think the South just looks like they still have some jitters. Guys making uncharacteristic mistakes.
I don't think it's because this All-American roster is tilted, in any one way. It's pretty even for the most part.
On paper, it's as even as we could have, made it. So
No doubt.
We'll see. I expect the South to make a run at some point right now.
And here you go. This is a kid who has a nasty split.
Oh, wow. Great save right there. Ryan Darby from Plano West. Headed to Hopkins in the fall. Great save right there.
I'm sure he'll be chuckling on that one afterwards. Stopping his good buddy there, Nakai Montgomery. What a move. So elusive in open field. Can beat, short six, long six. He's one of the best players in the country. There's a reason he's ranked number 6. Got to watch him play back in March for ESD. Just does everything. Just an awesome kid. Talented football player. Playing right here in Dallas.
Great look by Matt Cameron. Great hit by Jackson Zag.
Nice poise in the clear there from Darby.
Here comes Birch. Over to Knowlton again. Ooh, great save by McPeak. White ball. Here comes Grant Murphy from the Woodlands School in Houston. Woodlands had an excellent year this year.
Got to watch them back in May at Geico Nationals. Murphy really strong year, as John mentioned. We'll head off to Syracuse. We'll do a couple of these kids. Brent Evans again.
Nick Clark, what a great pass. Knowlton around the world. Between Ham and Knowlton, you got two very creative attackmen. You've seen that early tonight, but probably should have buried that one.
I don't think we're seeing any jitters from him. He looks so confident.
Nope.
What a great get for Torpy and the High Point Panthers. I think we'll see minutes from day one.
Nice pass, there it is. Great shot. Nice pass. That is Aldrich Vanderhyde, Torrey Pines High School in San Diego. Great finish. Headed to Middlebury College in the fall. Vanderhyde had a great year this season. One of the leading scorers in San Diego. And All-American, academic All-American, great student, great lacrosse player.
Kind of defying the odds. Not really strong coaching at Torrey Pines with John Ozissi, but a really polished player.
It's a real feel-good story. Overcoming adversity.
I had to put that one in there somehow. We'll now be joined by Greg Granlian. I think a lot of people on this channel are familiar with Greg, aka Beast. Give us a little insight on the face-off.
Hey, just flew in and boy are my arms tied. All right, let's get going here. It's interesting. We were talking about, you guys were mentioning how even these teams are on paper. And right now you got the North is 6 for 9 on draws. So, that's the key. Now, what I've always found interesting here is you see the South and they're playing with 3 face-off guys. They're rotating them through. It is really hard to get in a rhythm that way. Now, I'm not making any excuses for them, but it's hard to get down the cadence. It's hard to stay in the rhythm of the game, whereas the North is rotating 2 guys, right? So JT and Luke can get in a rhythm, go back and forth, and it makes life a lot easier for them. This is going to bring in a lot of wing play. You need the wings to line up and help you out. The problem is this is an all-star game, right? So you don't have that kind of rapport with your wings to help you out. They don't know where the ball's going to go.
Nice little finish there. Ryder Mora, of course, the son of Jim Moore of UCLA. I don't know why Ryder's rocking the Torrey Pines helmet, but I like it. Probably good to bring your helmet to an all-star game, but that's okay. Guess he forgot it. So, Greg, you run the Face-Off Academy. What have you seen out west? I know you have Brennan Fowler doing a lot for you out here. But what's it been like, kind of just coming out west and having him work for you? I know there's a lot of talent out here.
Yeah, there's a ton of talent everywhere, right? I mean, California, as far as heads are concerned, has more lacrosse players than any other state in the country.
Yep.
The beauty about face-off training is it's basically just athleticism. And you're seeing now with the new ball placement, the new mechanics, you're seeing Zach Courier type players, popping up where athletic guys who don't want to sit on a knee and don't want to do one move. There's a lot of different ways you can attack this now. So, yeah, I mean, B Rabbit's out here in SoCal just killing it, bringing all kinds of players, all these athletic guys who had those potential. Now he's giving them the FOA system, and they're crushing it. Same thing down here in Texas. We're getting guys coming, every time we do a draw day out here, we got 50, 60 kids showing up ready to crush it, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like every time I go to Texas or California, which is, several times a year, I can really just sense how coachable and hungry these kids are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, we talk so much about these athletes, these football-level athletes, putting that sport down or maybe playing it as well. But they love the game. They're working their tails off and working with you and all sorts of great coaches. I think California and Texas are states where you have these guys from hotbed areas in the East Coast that'll move to great, style of living in places like that. So definitely helping in the high-level coaching, getting these kids next level. Programs, of course, playing this event, producing a lot of talent as well.
You're right, and I think it goes beyond. Great dodge to the middle there. It goes beyond just the face-offs. It goes to the sport in general, where a lot of these kids in the Long Island and Maryland and Philadelphia's of the world thought it was their birthright, right, to just go play college lacrosse. And now I'm telling them, I'm saying, hey, look, you got athletes that are just as athletic as you, but now they're actually hungrier, and a lot of them are more coachable. So they're not the jaded types of kids. They when we come down here and work with them, they hang on every word, and they take it seriously, and they're grateful for the training. And Northeastern kids better step their game up, not from a talent perspective, but from a coachability perspective.
I think in general, having done this for, I think, 7-8 years, just an incredible class. I mentioned, the class of 2017, class of 2016 was great as well. But I think, again, we talk so much about these hotbeds, but not hotbeds like California and Texas and Colorado and even Utah and Oregon. Everywhere. Just killing it.
Yeah. You're right. It's awesome.
Always to see these goalies want to come out of the cage the All-Star game.
Yeah, man. Well, Gittleman's in the building, dude. He's probably whispering some things in their ears here.
Probably clapping somewhere. Man.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about Darby. I heard Kyle Hartzell taught him everything he knows down there in Plano West. It's pretty awesome. What I was interested in was you have these all-star games, and it's interesting. I can't wait to talk to the coaches at halftime. Is how do you approach this from a coaching standpoint, right? You put in like a base offense, you put in a base defense, clear. But I always found that my personal experience, another big. My own personal experiences when I played in these types of games is the team that literally tried to run an offense and defense ended up having more fun and ended up putting a lot of points on the board. Everyone looked good, right? As opposed to a situation where you might have a couple nervous guys on one team where they're like, I got to score some goals and make the most of this opportunity, and then they play out of their element. What do you think about that?
Oh, I agree 100%. I think it's tough. I think it was a great point talking to the coaching. I think you don't want to overthink it too much. You just want to let the guys play, but you still got to have the guys organized and put in some set plays, maybe an EMO and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a coach, it's interesting. Do you run what you do normally with your teams, or do you kind of look at the talent you have and say, maybe we'll go with a 1-4-1 instead of a 1-3-2 or something like that? So I'm interested to get some of the coaches what their thought process is on this. Obviously it's a little bit more of a physical standpoint, like the refs are letting it go a little bit. So maybe you slide.
Oh man, we talk about the South leading something. They're getting a nice little kick there. Aldrich Vanderhyde.
Strong name.
Oh yeah, and they'll go to the NESCAC and play for Middlebury.
The LSM getting it in.
Oh, that's nifty. Shout out to Booker Corrigan. Lovely finish there. You don't see that too often, man. That was beautiful.
Now look at this. Okay, so we got this face-off lined up here. All right, so we're going to have, it looks like Chase is down there, number 13. Okay, pitch and pop. The wings were just in the middle of the field. Oh, take it to the rack, kid. There you go. That's how you get things going. He could have gotten down the field a little bit quicker if he had gotten to his feet before he caught it, but the kid's got hand speed for days. Huge frame. Just an absolute steal for Denison. He's something special. I really like it.
Late slide, no slide.
You don't have to slide to face off, guys.
No.
We can't shoot. Let him dunk it.
I think face-off guys just want to get as close as they possibly can,
Yeah, I tell you, got to be accurate from 2 feet out. This is Hud Bairden now. He's got a great snap on the whistle. He extended a little bit. Luke's going to make him pay for it. Luke the other way now. All right. Luke Gianni's really low to the ground. He's a good athlete. And he can play some D-mid, too.
Definitely a steal for MIT.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best schools in the country.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is I'm watching this, as I'm watching the face-offs develop. Like I said before, you don't have to report the wing, so you try to do a lot of it yourself. And I've noticed Hud Barrett, who's going to Jacksonville next year, he's been on the whistle, and he's been able to win a lot of these clamps. But the problem is he's popping the ball out, and the other team's snatching it up. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys develop. They move the wings around at any point.
Well, Greg, thanks for coming on with us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you down in the field.
Yes, sir.
The refs are usually letting them play, but probably missed slash right there. Got him right in the head.
Looks like the South has got some energy back. Ooh, as soon as I say that, Nick Clark from St. Ignatius. Great take. Great two-way midfielder from one of the best programs in the West. They're almost blemished this spring. A great game against Torrey Pines.
There it is. There it is.
No, Nick Clark is a son of a coach. He's headed to Bucknell. Great pickup, great Patriot League level player. He'll do really well there.
Sleeper. Definitely a sleeper.
Well, we got a game here. We love seeing guys like Nick Clark and Bucknell guy and Aldrich Vanderhyde and Middlebury guys starting making some really important plays amongst these guys going to the ACC and Big Ten. It's all about finding the right fit.
Here's a kid I adore, Chris Belcher, head to Utah.
Speaking of finding the right fit, I think it's, Chris had a lot of other looks, but he wanted to stay home and represent his home state in the start of a new program, and I think Utah's getting a great player in Belcher and a great way to, a great guy to start your program around.
And John, what do you think that the addition of Division I lacrosse by Utah will do for the game out west? Do you feel like this will kind of start a domino effect? I mean, what have you heard out west the last couple of days since that announcement?
I think it's awesome. I think there's a lot of kids that want to stay closer to home. I think Utah's got the big school feel with the rah-rah sports. It's affordable. They have a tremendous coaching staff. Adam Gittleman is one of my closest friends who's in the building tonight. And they're building it with the right people, and all the best organizations. It's all about the people, and so I'm excited. I think they're going to do really well when they start going live next July.
I think so too. I mean, just watching them recruit the last several months, there are a lot of events and they're getting a lot of talent. I mean, I think I put out a controversial tweet back in the fall saying that they're recruiting just as well as at least a third of Division I, and that's not far-fetched.
Yep, there's Andrew Beecham on the goal for the South from Acosta Canyon. Yeah, Ty, I think if Utah can get the best players in state every year, and do what Denver's done and take the best non-traditional players, and then maybe get one or two or three hotbed guys, they can compete the same model that Denver's had, and I think Utah is a bit more affordable, and a bigger school might be more appealing. So I don't think you're going to have any trouble. And having young coaches like Gittleman and Holman and Manny, I think is attractive to young kids. Their names in the MLL, they're young, they're relatable, and then a guy like Brian Holman leading the ship is a great sort of mentor figure that I think a lot of parents would like to see their kids play for.
There's just so much attractive about Utah. I think a lot of recruits out west and really all over the country will give them a hard look. Half a minute left here in the half.
Be great if the South could get a momentum goal here heading into halftime. Seabold. 15 on the clock. Oh my. A question mark, no look, top corner. Owen Seabold, unassisted. Great job.
Kid is just so comfortable in this building. Had a highlight reel goal against Westlake, as I mentioned.
And that's good defense. Ryan Baker from Juan Diego in Utah is very good defender. All over hands right there. Geez, I mean, that's just good defense. It's just a great shot.
And you can't stop that.
Nope.
Put it top shelf. You're not going to stop that. Darby should have no shame there.
And that's going to end the half right there. Great momentum builder for the South to head into halftime only down a goal after a tumultuous first quarter for them.
Really fun first half here.
think, Ty, the second half keys moving forward. I think the South has to build off their energy. Guys are sharing the ball. Guys seem a little bit more calmed down and fluid. And I think for the North, I think they just fell asleep for a quarter, took your foot off the gas, and now you get the South going a 6-0 run. That's never a good thing.
Yes, it's tough. I mean, I like just the overall competition level, and these kids are just off the charts. You see the high level of play here. The kids are having a blast as well. Pretty fired up for the second half, and looking forward to seeing what the coaches say.
Excited to see here, Ty. This is the Jeremy Huber 19 award they presented at halftime. For the player that most exemplifies and personifies the traits that were near and dear to Jeremy: selflessness, altruism, charisma, and dedication. It's a special award to the late Jeremy Huber, who was a Adrenaline All-American himself back in 2014.
Definitely an important moment here.
Heading it down to the field with Greg Gorenlin.
All right, Coach,
Greg,
tell me, what was the plan here? What did you guys talk about before the game, and what were your adjustments during the first half?
We wanted the kids to have fun, play hard, play fast, and as you saw in the first quarter, we certainly did that. I think it got a little, I think the South team decided to do that as well in the second quarter, so it was a tale of two quarters. But kids are playing hard. It's aggressive out there. Face-offs are going well. Offensively, when we share the ball, we're good. And you saw that, in the first quarter and then towards the middle of the second quarter.
Yeah, I noticed on the face-offs, you guys are dominating in that especially that first quarter. Is there anything you taught them, or are you letting them do their own thing?
They're doing their own thing, and then basically they're making adjustments as the quarters go on, as the time goes on. So it's actually pretty good.
All right, awesome. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you guys.
Greg, good stuff.
Okay, let's count them out. 10. Talk to break, guys. 9, 8, 7, 6. Count it out, announcers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio.
Picked off in the middle by Maryland. They push the tempo and get the ball down just that quickly.
Mitch, your shot. Go ahead.
What drives the positivity in this process for me is what good would being negative do? Why not focus on the opportunity at hand, which is to rehab and come back and play at a higher level than I played before, because I didn't even know that I was injured. I can't believe that I went so long feeling like I felt and just accepting it. This is how it's going to be. It feels night and day different from what it did. Right now, there's still soreness and there's still pain because I was operated on, but it's not pain like something's wrong. So I feel it under my ankle a little bit.
Okay.
It's not a pain. It's almost sore. I just think that I'm in a place now where I don't want to say that I am ready to come back, because I'm not. But I do know mentally now, which I didn't know before, that I will be back in 2017.
Thank you, Adrenaline, for everything you've done, getting me started with lacrosse, to all the coaches, all my friends. It's been the best. Thank you so much.
Gonna check out some first half highlights here. Game started off the scoring with Asher Nolting started off the scoring for the North.
Nice follow there.
Miles Ham. The North got off to a ridiculously hot start. There's Jack Elders from San Francisco. Great face dodge. Nolting again from JP Morris. South finally got on the board with a goal from Andrew Beecham. But it was all North in the first quarter. There's JP Morris again, the train from Oklahoma, excuse me. But the second quarter was a different story. Aldrich Vanderheit, the Torrey Pines High School grad, 2 goals. Chase Lynch turned things around at the face-off X. Huge goal right here. And then Beecham again. Great step away by Beecham. So again, it was a tale of 2 quarters. Like we said in the beginning, very evenly matched game. I think you saw that first quarter was all North, second quarter was all South. Let's see if we see a more consistent second half. Ty, thoughts?
Okay, announcers, we have the coaches ready if you go ahead to the break.
We'll have Greg Grenlian, a.k.a. Beast of the Faceoff Academy, New York Lizards, down in the field.
From RC Lacrosse, John Ozizi.
Hey guys, this is Greg back here with Coach Foss here. Coach, tell me what it's like playing in the Star here.
It's an amazing venue. I mean, it's top notch. Everything from the facilities to everything they do here, and it's an amazing opportunity to be a part of this. So it's great.
Awesome. I see you got a couple of your players here with you. Do you guys want to tell us who you are and what you think real quick?
I'm Hunter Binney. I go to LCC.
And what do you think of the event so far?
This is a beautiful stadium. I love it here, and it's much better than being outside, that's for sure.
Definitely much better than being outside. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
George Farley. I go to Coronado, and definitely the coolest place I've ever played lacrosse.
There you go. Coolest place I ever played lacrosse. What do you think of that? Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it. You got it.
drives the positivity in this process for me is what good would being negative do? Why not focus on the opportunity at hand, which is to rehab and come back and play at a higher level than I played before, because I didn't even know that I was injured. You know, like I can't believe that I went so long feeling like I felt and just like accepting it. Like, this is how it's going to be. Like, it feels night and day different from what it did. Like right now, there's still soreness and there's still pain because I was operated on, but it's not pain like something's wrong. So I feel like under my ankle a little bit.
Okay.
It's not a pain. It's almost like sore. I just think that I'm in a place now where I don't want to say that I am like ready to come back, because I'm not. But I do know mentally now, which I didn't know before, that I will be back in 2017.
Picked off in the middle by Maryland. They push the tempo and get the ball down just that quickly.
Mitch, your shot. Go ahead.
All right, I'm here with Coach. We're looking at an 8-7 score right now. What do you think has to happen in the second half for you guys to put this away?
I think right now we're just sliding a little late. These guys are real good and real fast. I think our tempos just needs to pick up a little bit. So we talked to the guys about going early in the second quarter. I think we started to make a little bit of comeback there, and our wings were fighting a whole lot harder, so that helped.
Yeah, so in my wheelhouse, okay, the only thing I know about. So from a face-off standpoint, you guys are rotating 3 guys, right? They're rotating 2. So do you feel like it's harder for your guys to get in the rhythm of the game, or do you think you're going to stick with this 3-man rotation?
Stick with it. I think it's changing up. It's changing up for their guys, if anything. We just need to fight a little bit harder on the wing, and I think once we start, we're winning the clamp. It's just fighting on the wings and getting that pickup.
Absolutely. And then when you guys are getting the ball, because you were getting the ball more in the second quarter, which is huge for you guys, that's obviously mounting the comeback. Where you get on offense, you can do anything differently in the second half?
We're going to change up a little bit, maybe throw some invert in there for the midfielders, just to change it up a little bit on the other team. But offensively, we're doing fine, and now that we're sliding a little bit early, I think we'll just stay consistent with this in the second half.
Okay. Ty and I were talking about it in the booth. When you're trying to come up with something for an all-star team, do you stick with an offense that you do with your own squad, or do you kind of look at the list and go, okay, we can do some fun things with this guy?
I talked to Jesse Foss. We decided we'd open it up. We ran a 3-1-2. It gives the guys some room to dodge, and I think what we want to do now is take it behind and invert a little bit in the second half. But we thought about going to a deuces. We don't want to stick 2 guys on the inside, especially not in an all-star game. So we're going to keep it in a 3-1-2 probably the rest of the game.
Let them do their thing and have fun. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
back into the second half. Awesome second quarter of action, really evening things up almost.
It was a tale of two quarters in the first half. The South made a great run. Let's see if they stay hot. Let's see if the North can get back to what they were doing to start the game. Should be a great second half.
Talked a lot about the goalie play and just the 4 great goalies. I'm pretty stoked to see what these two guys can do out here. Luke Milliken had a phenomenal year for Dallas Jesuit over to North Carolina, originally committed to Penn. Back-to-back state champions, and Luke has been lights out the last couple of years. And of course, a kid for the North team you're very familiar with, John.
Yep, Joe Thor, Los Angeles product. Loyola was the state champions again in Loyola, or the Los Angeles region, 2 years in a row. Joe was a 3-time high school All-American, and he is headed to Tufts University in the fall. So should be a great second half. 2 more great goalies, and let's see what comes out of this.
Tufts, of course, more famous for producing scorers like John Zissi.
Producing engineers and doctors.
And lacrosse coaches. Yeah.
Shout out to Rory Doucette, too. Hope he's listening.
Somewhere, who knows?
All right, Ty, what are your keys for the second half here?
I think it's all about possessions and just overall comfort with this offense. As they pose for a little selfie there.
I think the South's team selfie will help.
I think it will. I mean, I'm curious to see how they can kind of carry over that momentum from a bomb selfie into the second half.
They should have, if only they had a selfie stick.
You had one, right?
Yeah, Coach Gittleman and I had a selfie stick 2 summers ago on our trip to Europe. Adam Gittleman's in the building. Guy really appreciates a great selfie stick. Here we go with Chase Lynch against JT Simonton. Let's open up the second half. Like I said earlier, Simonton was one of the keys to Cherry Creek's state championship run this spring. Huge improvements from him. He's going to Bellarmine in the fall, but really under the radar guy. Had a great season. He's an All-American. He's really impressive. And it's Lynch, one of the drop in himself.
Lynch, of course, already has a goal. Let's see if he can.
Teddy Sullivan. Teddy Sullivan. Great catch, switch and go, left-handed. Blew right by Lucas Patterson.
Sullivan's been a little quiet tonight. You can see him, strong lefty dodge there to the cage. Sullivan, an Arizona product, will go to play for Bill Tierney at Denver.
Yeah, he fits right into their offense. A lefty slasher, can play attack, can play midfield. Great handles. He's going to fit in really well right there at Matt Brown's offense.
Just a lacrosse rat, loves playing the game. Been fun to watch the last couple of years. I think he's really improved a ton.
Miles Henry ground ball, possession North, 8-8 game. Here we go. Oh, wow. Great take right there. Christian Marshall, probably one of the best athletes on the field. Great football player for Faith Lutheran High School in Nevada. Headed to Air Force. Probably start off as a defensive midfielder. And then work his way to the offense. Probably the fastest guy on the field tonight.
I feel like we've been talking about him for years. Remember, he was a YouTube sensation years ago at an event in Baltimore.
Yep.
Big time name.
Great. Yep. That thing went viral pretty quick. Yeah, Christian's a wonderful kid, was one of the earliest commits out in the West, and is stuck with his commitment 4 years later and still going to the Air Force, which is great to see his passion for the academy.
Air Force, our school, doing a great job out west.
Asher Knowlton.
Speaking of the devil,
over to Christian Marshall.
Knowlton originally committed there.
Let's see what he comes up with. J.P. Morris, the train from Oklahoma.
Have not been able to watch a whole lot of Morris, but he is just a bear with the ball. Of course, I say that as he turns the ball over.
Here comes Hayden Baker. Another guy headed to High Point in the fall.
Gotta say, I still have to sort of pinch myself in this venue. Just an incredible place. A lot of awesome club teams coming here. RC, Chaos, Iron Horse. United advance.
We have 5 of the staple programs out west, regional teams. Nice to see that this small boutique event could bring together, only a small amount of teams, but the right teams. It's great. And here you see Andrew Beecham for his hat trick. Unassisted goal, that's 3 for Beecham. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, he was really efficient shooter, left hand, right hand. Just sweeps to the middle of the field, off stick high. Great take by Andrew.
Definitely see him getting some burn for the Tigers next year. Mentioned they need it. Can use some money shots like that from Beecham. We'll pop back in with Greg Granley. Greg, thanks for joining us once again.
I'm back. All right, let's see. Luciani's been looking good this game. Good pop forward. It's interesting. I was talking to the coaches at halftime. They're both pretty set on just letting the face-off guys kind of do their thing. They trust their expertise. But what I'm interested in is how they're going to change the wing play. I think if we're going to get a tight game like this, it's going to come down to 3-on-3 face-offs.
No doubt. That's when we talked about the clearing, the difficulty there, playing with guys that you haven't played with. I think the familiarity level with your wing guys is pretty important, would you say?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's everything. Chemistry is important, especially now the way the face-offs are. You can't hold the ball in the back of the stick.
Yep.
The ball placement's higher, so the face-offs are quicker than they've ever been. So the ball's spraying everywhere. In fact, you might be able to tell me this, on the recruiting circuit, I feel like LSMs who can play wing is almost becoming a bit of a specialty.
It definitely is. I mean, I feel like, there's the guys that jump on the page right away. I love seeing LSM, who's just awesome off the ground and creates offense and, helps their face-off guy get the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got guys like Joel White, Scotty Ratliff. I mean, those guys are pretty much face-off terrorists.
Backups, man. Making it happen.
So it's interesting. I want to see how coaches rotate. At what point does a competitive nature hop in? And do you start to say, okay, well, we've been really nice about everyone getting some playing time, but man, I want to win this game. Maybe the coaches have a bet going on. Who knows?
Maybe cover bar tab later.
Bar tab.
Really want to see this kid go off. I've loved watching Nakai over the last couple of years. Talk so much about how much of an athlete he is, and one of the best kids I've met doing this. Nicest kids ever. What a beauty. Jack Elders talked about him being a sleeper bound for Georgetown.
That was Max Seabald-esque.
That was pretty, man.
Violent rip. Take. Straight down, technically sound. 3/4 on the run.
Yeah, I don't think Miller can stop him that, man. I don't think many goalies in this country at this level are stopping a shot like that. Can see him getting some minutes as well for Kevin Warren at Georgetown. Warren getting a pretty strong class for the Hoyas.
Chase Lynch. So Chase Lynch has been numbers-wise doing by far the best on the South team. Right now, he's 6 for 8. So, you're going to get to a point where, as a coach, you're sitting here going, hey, man, we want to stay in this game. Our other 2 face-off guys are combined for 1 win on paper right now. Now, I think Hud Barrett's done a good job of controlling the clamp, but for whatever reason, his exits aren't there right now. So you might have to ride Chase a little bit, see if he can put some goals together here.
Do you think some D1 coaches are watching this game kind of, kicking themselves for not recruiting him to D1, Chase Lynch?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where the FOA's training so many kids a week. You can't possibly keep a hold of them. And D2 and D3 is going to, the face-off athlete is going to continue to rise. What a great take. It's a textbook inside roll right there.
We have Sullivan again. Really impressive IQ in this kid.
Deerfield guy. Quick rake right there. Nice. I've liked seeing Luke's. He's putting together, and this is what you're going to see more and more of. It used to be you see guys that are really good at one move, right? Now guys are able to win face-offs in multiple different ways. And, you got to be able to stand up. You got to be able to be on a knee. You got to be able to do quick rakes. It'll be interesting.
And I'm sure you could talk about this for hours, but how much is the face-off position, the technique changed, and what are you guys kind of doing? What are you trying to focus on with these kids?
Well, I think what's cool is for a long time we evolved the stance. Everything was, we evolved it to an angle efficiency stance, knee down and all that stuff, and getting leverage and footwork and all this stuff. And the new rules came in and got rid of a lot of the cheating, which was fantastic. And now the ball placement's different. So now you're seeing what used to be, what was old is new again, right? I get to stand up again, which I did for years. And you're seeing guys like Zach Currier and guys who, Garino was the hero for Maryland, right? So these guys can stand up and get the job done.
Shout out Chris Mattis, coaching there,
yeah,
FOA guy.
Coach Mattis getting it done. And also a shout out to Coach Bolkin, who brought, helped develop Withers, and they're going to have some serious face-off guys at Ohio State for a long time coming in. Wonder if you're going to start seeing some stick swing going on here towards it. Let's get a little chippy. See a few more hero passes too.
I did not expect to see a 10-10 game after the first quarter that we had.
Yeah.
About midway through the third stanza here.
Yeah, I think guys start to feel themselves a little bit.
No doubt.
A little bit more up and down. But, I'm interested now. So, for instance, you had the North that came out of the gates banging the ball around. Everyone's getting their touches. Everyone's being polite, right, here in an all-star game. And now we're in the second half. Some dudes want to get their touches and they want to take it to the rack. So we'll see if things start to fall apart.
A lot of people watching out here. A lot of people on YouTube watching the East Coast Eyes channel. These kids want to put on a show in this spotlight.
Yeah, man, they want to sting a corner and get some free hero mesh.
Nice little hit there. Ooh, Lucas Pedersen.
Contested GB. Let's see how nice we're going to be about this.
Sullivan digging deep.
That was the kindest ground ball battle I've ever seen. Look at this.
Close look at the hit.
That's as hard as you're. That's where yo, bro, this is an all-star game, man.
Love to see the big hits in all-star game, though.
Love it. Oh, Coach, that's where I meant to throw it. Spread it back out. Got a long pole stuck on the wing. He doesn't care.
Chris Belcher, man, he can play with the ball in his stick. He can put the ball in the back of the net. Seen him do it a whole lot, especially at the face-off. But he can stay on and do some work there.
Nice inside roll.
Oh, my God. Ashford Knowlton just putting on a clinic here.
Great take.
This kid is feeling it. Can't say enough about him. Again, make me look pretty stupid, not making him an Under Armour All-American, but that's okay. Plenty of mistakes to be made.
You know what, man? I mean, it's becoming a point where so many guys are so good. And all these kids are out here working 24/7. Guys are going to slip through, right? And that kind of elite athlete, I mean, he's special. That's a hell of a move.
I don't think it's anything anywhere close to due to lack of exposure. I think that, again, talking about these adrenaline events and the Under Armours and the Maverick Showtimes, it really doesn't matter where you're from these days. You're going to get looked at. You're going to get seen, and you're probably going to wind up at a hell of a school. So much talent. Again, 10 players in this game ranked in my top 100, all going to phenomenal programs and phenomenal academic institutions.
Yeah, and I mean, look, D2, D3, we try to tell these kids, your job is to find the school that's going to set you up for life, right?
The best fit across the board.
And we got some elite level guys. Yeah, they could play D1, but they're they go to like a NESCAC school, and they're going to be set up for life. So what's the point of obsessing over what division you're going to? Just go have fun.
No doubt. No doubt. And I think, in the past couple of years, look at these rosters, watching these games, there's been a lot of MCLA talent, on these rosters. And I think, again, it's a very attractive option for these players. But it does not matter what division, just find the best fit, Does not matter.
Uh-oh. So on defense, is there a handshake agreement? Slide 50%? Or are we coming for heads now? It's 11-10.
It looked that way in the first half. I want to see some more hits, though. I was feeling that.
So obviously, I mean, look at how much talent's here right now. Okay.
Also, Savior Milliken.
Pick a guy out that you think was just under-recruited.
Talking which side of the ball?
Either any side of the ball that pops out to you that you just think, man, this kid either showed up late, and surprised a lot of people and got picked up late, or you think a kid who just is maybe underrated? Like you said, you got guys that you didn't put on your top list, right? So give me a kid that you think might be underrated that's going to show up in college and surprise some people.
Tough to pick. I mean, I think originally I would have talked so much about him. Of course, Nolting. A steal for High Point was a steal originally for Air Force. Definitely an ACC Big Ten type of talent. I wouldn't say that he was under-recruited, but again, I think these kids are just getting better as their careers go on. And now, I think also players like Aldrich Vanderhyde, a Middlebury commit, that kid could play just about anywhere. Again, we talked about John Ozissi coaching him. Kid put up a ton of points the last couple of years, playing ball for TP and some club programs out west. I think he was probably one that was overlooked a little bit. Liam Kavanaugh, another kid, from San Diego, I think is a nice little get for Utah. I mentioned them from Cathedral Catholic, Kavanaugh and Tackman, but just so much talent. I feel like I've been watching these kids for years. Oh, what we got here?
Ooh, hidden ball trick, little pineapple. We used to call this pineapple. I didn't really.
Not really wanted to pull off there.
Just ran a flying V.
No.
So the new recruiting rules, right? So you have these new recruiting rules, and that means you can't make contact with a player until September 1st of their junior year.
Yep.
How is that going to have an effect on, say, even this event? Is it going to change the way kids approach the game in general? Is it going to change the way events are run? How young they start, etc.? What do you think?
I've already seen a pretty strong impact. Let's say there, a strong impact in these rules, and I've really enjoyed it. Of course, I kind of follow what these college coaches do and the trends and all that. And this past weekend, I only watched 18s, and college coaches are really focusing on watching the rising seniors and rising juniors, and that's great. It's high quality lacrosse, and I think going forward, I would expect all of these kids that made decisions once they get to rising junior year. I think that parents and the kids, the coaches will kind of feel like you should maybe reevaluate these decisions and make sure they're making the best decision for their lives. Of course, they have the little room to do so, and there's some poaching and all that. But I think it's a healthy thing for the game. I think that there was a lot of pressure on these 8th and 9th graders to kind of be prepared to get recruited, and that's no longer the case. We have Miles Hand make the finish there.
Goal scorer number 5, Miles Hand. Assist.
Yes. What a finish there to end the third quarter. Ridiculous hands there, ridiculous poise by Miles Hand. Now coming back for the fourth quarter. Nice little look at field level there. pretty fired up to see what we have in store in the fourth.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better situation than this, man. It's an all-star game, and these kids are actually playing like it means something, which is pretty cool. I think in a circuit where a lot of these guys are so used to playing these kinds of events, sometimes the competitive spirit gets lost a little bit, and the drive to win games kind of goes down the toilet. But you can tell these guys actually want to win this, and as the game goes longer, they both are starting to get a little chip on their shoulders.
You can kind of tell right off the bat kind of who wants it the most, you know, which kids are the most competitive. I mean, a lot of these kids are really showing up when it matters the most. Definitely some bragging rights on the line here.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be pretty cool to see what the coaches do as far as personnel, how they rotate guys, how nice they are about playing time in this fourth quarter. But it's definitely a pretty cool situation. That goal, by the way, I know we had to go to break. Can we talk about that goal for a second at the end? So you were telling me about some of the cool stuff he does on the recruiting trail. Tell us a little bit more about it. Was that a top 10 up for him?
For him, you know, what I've seen, that was one of the better goals. But he's done some ridiculous things. You know, loves the swim move, loves the the behind the back dodge, behind the back passes. That's a level of craftiness that Harvard doesn't really have. And they really haven't had. They have a lot of phenomenal players, but you don't see a school like that, you know, getting these Canadian studs, and he's just ridiculous. I mean, it really, you know, we talk so much about Canadians and natives kind of having their stick be an extension of their arms, and a kid like that, you know, just a poster boy there. Really special player, and been a blast to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in Cambridge in the next few years. Terrified here. Talked about Notre Dame's class of midfielders coming in. I think Harvard has a bunch of studs coming in. Chris Morgan is very
getting talent, right? Harvard's getting talent every year.
Oh yeah,
see how it develops.
Just in that league, I mean, there's a lot of really skilled programs, skilled rosters across the board.
So we got Luke Gianni, Hud Barrett starting it off. Hud Barrett going to a stand-up stance, neutral grip.
Local guy here.
Okay, he's going to try and pull it out quick. Boom. Luke staying on top of it. Oh boy.
Not to give myself credit here, I did talk about, you know, let's see which team, which 1-2 punch, the tandem went wild, and this Ham to Knowlton connection and vice versa has been pretty special to watch. Really good poise again, and control by Knowlton there, and just as strong of a look there from Ham, getting it over there to Knowlton. Really fun to watch, man.
Yeah. Now Chase is going to try and get this ball back, and he does. Oh, see, that's been a lot of that has happened for the South today. You know, they get the ball out, but they just can't corral the GB. That's an opportunity right there for people at home. So many young FOA guys. Chase is going to hate me for saying this, but get to your feet before you pull the ball out, man. You know, it makes your life a little bit easier. And those are tiny little things that he'll have to tighten up before he gets to the next level.
We've seen Jackson Zog representing Minnesota, Eden Prairie. Awesome program up there in the Twin Cities.
Minnesota's got some studs, man.
They really do. I mean, I go up there about once a year when I can and watch some games, and I feel like they're really having a strong presence in the Midwest, producing a lot of talent. Yeah. Some great coaches and some kids with just stellar hands. A lot of hockey influence there, of course. I was actually up in Minnesota back in March, the Minnesota State Hockey Championships, and you can see a really strong level of passion for lacrosse developing. Never catch hockey up there, of course, but they love lax up in Soda.
Yeah, they really do. You got True, you got Team Minnesota out there, North Star. They all do a good job. Ben Williams is actually moving back to Minnesota, just joined the FOA.
Really cool to see him and Jake Withers, of course, you know, join FOA in Minnesota and Canada and get those areas going. What are your thoughts in adding them? You know, what's that feeling like?
It's great. I mean, you know, we're at a point now. We got about there's probably 7 teams right now, I think, that have FOA guys on the roster in the MLL. So now I'm playing against guys that I've coached, which is crazy. But I'm really pumped for the kids, and back in the Toronto area that are going to get to work with Jake. And the cool thing is Ben and Jake are going back to areas that they're from, and they're folk heroes there. Great stutter. A little hitch there.
Talk a little bit about Bryn Evans, Under Armour All-American. Nice little low finish by Bryn. Strong bouncer there.
Watch those hips turn, man. He brings it.
And of course, Jack Elders on the assist there.
This surface is just a dream to play on, huh?
And these NorCal kids going off. Yeah, beautiful venue here, man. We're all very lucky to be here. Pretty exciting for our game, and especially these kids playing this this All-American game. Oh, a little BTB there by Chris Belcher. Talked about the impact of the wing guy. Got a little cute, and it worked.
Well, you know, it's interesting when you talk about doing certain things, right? Some guys have, whether it's we talk about Joe Fletcher. Oh my goodness. I'll get to that.
Ham going ham.
We have to give Ham a little recognition real quick. Low to high.
I'm sure Milliken wanted that pretty bad.
At least break a sweat when you do something.
He does make it look really easy. Ham, again, cannot say enough about him.
That's insane. Well, I was going to say, you know, you talk about BTB getting cute, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, we all were taught growing up, don't shoot the ball behind the back.
Fundamentals.
You know, fundamentals. But who says fundamentals can't be just something that you work on tirelessly, right? So I think you're seeing more coaches kind of like give up a little bit on hating on that stuff a little bit more. And if it's part of your arsenal, then they praise it a little bit. And I think you're seeing it more and more. Thank you to the Canadian and Native American influence, I think, out there.
Well, I think, you know, you talk so much about the coaches kind of no, yes. You know, they don't care as long as it goes in. You know, if that's part of your game and it works, that they don't really care.
Yeah.
They want results. They don't want turnovers, but they want the ball in the back of the net. They'll probably keep their mouth shut if it works.
Yeah.
Got about 10 minutes left. North course up 15-10 on the South squad. Strong second half from the boys up north.
Yeah, it's that third quarter was kind of a purgatory for these guys. You know, maybe they're getting a little tired, whatever. Ball was thrown away a lot in that third quarter. And now you're seeing guys tighten it back up a little bit here. Getting the ball to the right guy. You're seeing slides from everywhere now. People are just taking it upon themselves to slide. We had an up top adjacent slide just now. Don't see that a whole lot. Oh boy.
So Phillips wanted it, man.
Now in a running clock game, I mean, you gotta take your shots when you can get them right now, right? If you have any hope to win this. We talked about, how cool it might be one day to see a high school event where they play ML rules with a shot clock or a 2-point line.
Can you imagine having that? Get back in the game when it's 15-10, just nail a couple 2-pointers from long range.
Well, we were laughing because you know how you go to the basketball court and everyone just sits there and just shoots threes. These kids would all line up on the arc and just wonder what the 2-point arc is.
That'd be the entire warm-up.
Yeah. But I think it would be great. I think people would be shocked at. My problem with when people argue about the shot clock is I don't think you give these kids enough credit. We talk about how talented they are. What makes you think that an elite level kid?
Oh, that was nifty.
Totally meant to do that. Totally meant to pass it. That's just how they wrote it up.
Yeah, okay.
What makes you think that these kids, okay, look at this talent. They can't have a 90-second shot clock and put goals. You know what I mean? Look at this. We call that just a no-look pass. Great awareness. All three long poles just put their hands on their head.
I think Frayne almost the palms up like, how do I score that? I like that work from Matt Cameron in there, getting the ball to Frayne. Sort of a weird goal, but Cameron did a really good job getting to the dirt, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
Dodging the dirt.
It's another South win initially on the faceoff and a turnover. And that's kind of been the story today.
Let's go, JP!
Oh, chased down from behind. All right, so South's got to put some points up here. They got just over 7 minutes left. Quick transfer from the box. Do you just do you call out a couple names if you're coach, or you just say keep running the offense?
Keep running it.
Yep. And one.
A flag?
We just got a flag, ladies and gentlemen. It happened. It happened.
Drawing it.
Now this will be a man-up draw. Nope, it's just your textbook slash to the helmet. We're just wipe it off. Alrighty. It's your world, ref. We're just living in it. Great take.
The guy getting a little practice before he plays in the Under Armour game in a few weeks in Towson, my hometown.
Humble brag.
Not Towson, no Zenit. I know I've complained on Twitter a million times.
South is winning some draws here in this fourth quarter. Just got to get it on offense, make it count.
You can just tell how bad Phillips wants it. Not the best shot, but, you know, why not, man?
Why not?
Have a little fun.
Well, that's what, you know, what happens if we lose this game? We go to second place?
Yeah. Just have a little fun, you know, 6 minutes left.
That's what it's about. You get these cool jerseys. They're playing on, you know, playing on the Star. They've earned it. Have some fun. Now,
the last time they're playing, you know, in real uniforms, and you know, for a while, so they're in college.
So these are all seniors right now that just finished.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is special.
And I think there's no doubt that a lot of these kids will be watching ESPNU, you know, dazzling in the spring.
Yeah.
I mean, this past year, I feel like this was definitely the strongest class of freshmen I've ever evaluated, and I got to kind of pound my chest a little bit about the rankings. They worked out pretty well, but just a stellar freshman group, and I'm kind of curious to see if the 17 group can do it. I don't know if it's the same level of instant impact guys, but over the course of their careers, I expect a lot of these guys to make strong splashes.
I think coaching is at a higher level than it's ever been. I think more guys are jumping into the fray to coach because they actually want to coach. It's not just dollar signs to them. I think you got better and better athletes for leaving other sports to play lacrosse. It sticks in their hands more. And I think with these later recruiting rules, kids are actually going to continue to work on their game longer. So I think you're just going to see it more and more.
And that's a great point. I think it also in these non-hotbeds, I think many times the kids that commit the earliest, they may be the oldest, the biggest, or from the named, you know, club and high school programs. But what's awesome, especially talking to coaching out west and these non-hotbeds, I think, like you said, it allows for more time for these kids to develop and be kids and work in their grades, work in the weight room, you know, and all that. Just kind of work in their game and get ready to be recruited when they're juniors, and that is just phenomenal for our sport.
Yeah, I agree. So you got just over 4 minutes here. Now, I would love to see the South keep playing offense rather than try to hold the ball for a minute. Uh-oh, here we go.
I don't know if we'll see any, you know, timer on or any of that in an All-Star game.
Well, we just got a flag for the first time in about 2.5 hours.
Unreal.
So.
Unreal.
Great camera work today, by the way. This has been awesome.
Just across the board, pretty incredible night here in Frisco at the Star.
So these, out of the goalies that have played so far tonight, who stuck out to you?
Do I have to answer that? I mean, it's so hard.
I know nothing except for face-offs.
I mean, it's just tough. You know, it's very hard to be a goalie in an All-Star game. Been pretty impressed with Darby, though. I think he's made some nice stops and has been you know, calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
I think Hopkins needs some help in goal. Wow. Oh my gosh. Miles Ham.
Dear Lord. You know what? That was so good. I'm going to run out of the booth. I'm out of here.
Well, Greg, thanks again.
Number 5, Miles Ham.
And here we go with the replay there.
Here we go, Tom.
Oh my.
What a play by Ham. There are those box skills, the box hybrid coming into play there. Tie him back, what they call a closer in baseball. Game's on the line, you bring in the relief pitcher, Charlie Sheen, aka Ricky Vaughn. Let's finish up the broadcast, Ty.
Wild thing, John Lazissi.
Yep. Appreciate it, Ty. Here comes Asher Knowlton, the front runner for tonight's most valuable player. Again, virtually uncoverable.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but you can't leave someone on an island to cover Asher alone. You just can't do it. And there's Spencer Carlson, a great defenseman headed to Albany, but again, Asher's just too athletic and big. The rare combination of size and agility.
And really good hands as well. You know, I've mentioned the word poise a million times, but he's just so comfortable inside. And yeah, I mean, with his size and his feet and his hands and his IQ, I mean, he really has it all.
There's Mo Meyer. When Mo Meyer decides to turn it on and flips the switch, no one's better. But it's just a matter of getting Mo to realize how good he is and how athletic and special he really is, and to just do more. He could really take, when he did that in the spring, he literally took over games. There were games where Mo would score 7 and 8 goals in a game, and games when Mo just, wouldn't shoot that much, would not score. It's just, again, the sky's the limit for Mo. He's got all the intangibles. Great athlete. Hopefully he'll transition to the next level.
I think Notre Dame does an awesome job kind of getting the most out of their recruits and really coaching them up and developing them. I think, Mo could be the big-time beneficiary from that.
Here comes Grant Murphy, Syracuse bound. Great stick handling, long stick.
You just changed it.
Yep, of course I did. And the South needs a couple MLL 2-pointers. That's not an option right now. So I don't know.
Hashtag analysis.
Hashtag, yeah. Rule changes. Rules committee. Love to see guys shoot sidearm when they're coming to the middle of the field, and when they're going down the alley to shoot overhand. Again, Ty, I'm not a physics major, but the laws of probability do give you a better chance.
And that was a mom pass.
Yep, that was.
Don't see that too often.
Nick Lemus
wants that one back, I'm sure.
Time is ticking and running out.
Just keep shooting. No one's gonna stall. Just gonna keep shooting. Running clock, keep going. Final 15 seconds of play here is Andrew Beecham.
Beecham looking for the 6-pointer.
And he has that range.
1 second. Oh no.
Oh wow, what a stop to end the game. Joe Thor, Tufts University, found the U. Love seeing a jumbo in a game like that.
Seals the deal there. Phenomenal showing here by the North. We'll throw it back down in a second to the field. Talk with the MVP and get the postgame going.
We're going to head to break.
We'll be announcing the game MVP after the postgame handshake line.
And we're going to head to commercial right now. We'll be back soon.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say yeah. 'Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
Ludacris going in on the verse, 'cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, keep them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down.
We're going to head down live to the 50-yard line where Greg Beast Grenlian is going to present the MVP award for the 2017 General and All-American game. Beast?
Hey, this is Greg here with the 2017 MVP, Asher Nolting. Asher, what was it like playing on the star in front of all these people at the All-American game?
I mean, it was an awesome atmosphere. A lot of fun playing with all the boys from West Coast Stars and all the stuff that we've played growing up. And this stadium's awesome to play in. I mean, this is world-class facilities, and it's just so much fun. So I couldn't be more grateful.
So when you were out there, when you're dishing the rock, you guys were playing offense. Were you trying to play within the offense, or at certain times you're just thinking, man, I kind of want to put something on. I want to put on a little bit of a show. Maybe I'll give them something special.
It's definitely, you want to put on a little show. I mean, it's the All-American game. You want to be remembered. But yeah, I mean, you just obviously we want to come out with the dub, and I think we did that. So that was awesome.
Good job. Now, one thing we were talking about in the booth, we were debating, do you know if the coaching staff has any kind of bet going on for the winner for this game? Or did any of you guys have a little friendly bet? Because you guys have played against each other before and a lot of stuff, right?
It was the South thought they were going to smoke us, and we ended up really beating them by 6. So that's all I have to say about that one.
Well, you did an awesome job. Great work. Congratulations on the MVP. We're going to send it back up to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg.
Got the highlights there with Asher Nolting with a multitude of highlight reel goals.
What do you think was the difference, Ty? Obviously, great individual performances by Nolting and Ham, but overall, what do you think was the difference in the North's victory?
I mean, I think that there's some great goaltending, but like you mentioned, I think just the combination you had between Nolting and Ham, the South team just could not stop that. And it's not a surprise. Those are two very difficult matchup problems there.
Yeah, I think defensively, I would have liked to have seen the South slide earlier, slide and recover faster, and not let one or two guys beat you. The more you can force a high school team to pass and move the ball, the trickier it gets for kids at that age. And so I think it was just the South didn't do a good enough job of making things difficult for Nolting and Ham.
Really fun game we had here at the Star. Thanks so much for following along on the East Coast Dives channel. Here's the General All-American game at the Star in Frisco, Texas. Really strong cap to these kids' careers as they'll head off to college in the fall and are sure to thrive in those situations.
Great venue, great game, and great ambassadors from the West Coast moving on to the NCAA lacrosse level, representing the West very well. So great ending to a lot of great careers. Look forward to watching these guys play at the next level for the next 4 years.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Again, man.